I used to think the world ended before I was born. That by the time I opened my eyes to the gray light of a broken dawn, everything worth saving had already been burned, buried, or forgotten. I was wrong. The world hadn't ended. Had been taken. The draft carry came before I could walk, my mother said. She used to whisper that name like it burned her throat. Never say it too loud, Sam, she told me. They can hear through the wind. By the time I was old enough to understand, she was gone, taken during a sweep in the upper ruins. I lived in the sewers after that. Not the old kind you see in movies. The new ones. Deep beneath the rusted cities, cut into tunnels where water still trickled, cold and bitter. They were safer than the surface. Up there, the draft carry drones scanned the streets, searching for unregistered biologicals. Down here we were just ghosts. I was 12 when I first started scavenging alone. 15 when I found her. It was just another night. Dark, wet, quiet except for the hum of far-off engines above. I was wading knee-deep through the water, flashlight flickering, hoping to find something worth trading. Old circuit boards, metal scraps, maybe a battery that still held a charge. That's when I heard it. Sound soft but not human. Like metal grinding against stone. Followed by a faint hiss. Froze. For a long time I just listened. Then I saw the light. Dim blue, pulsing in the darkness like a dying star. I raised my flashlight and saw her. Collapsed against the tunnel wall. Half submerged in the current. Her body was sleek and silver gray. Armor cracked along one side. And her leg. It was twisted, leaking a strange purple glow. At first I thought she was one of them, a draft carry soldier. My chest went tight. I almost ran. But then she spoke. Her voice was broken, glitching through static. Help please. I should have left. Everyone knew helping an alien was suicide. If the patrols found out, I'd be executed or worse. But something in her voice, something human, stopped me. I stepped closer, trembling. Can you understand me? Her eyes flicked open. They weren't like ours. 4 pupils arranged in a diamond, glowing faintly blue. But in that moment I saw fear there. Not the kind of fear monsters feel. The kind people feel. I can, she whispered. Please, the hunters. I looked down the tunnel. No sound. No light. For a moment, I hated myself for what I did next. Come on, I said. I'll get you out of sight. She was heavier than she looked, but I managed to drag her through a side passage to one of my hideouts, a dry chamber under the old metro line. I covered the entrance with pipes and cloth, the way I always did when I needed to disappear. By the time I got her inside, she was barely conscious. Her armor flickered with faint glyphs, alien text I couldn't read. I found some cloth and wrapped her wound, even though I had no idea what I was doing. She stared at me through half-lidded eyes. You a human? Yeah, I said. Name's Sam. I am Tullien, she murmured. Of the 5th Fleet. Then she passed out. I stayed up the whole night watching her, afraid she'd die, or worse, wake up and kill me. But when morning came, she was still breathing. The glow from her leg had dimmed, but the wound looked wrong, like liquid glass seeping from a crack. I scavenged what I could. Water from the condensation pipes, bits of nutrient gel from an old vending machine stash. When she woke again, I helped her drink. She stared at me like I was a puzzle. Why? She asked. Why help, enemy? That question hit harder than I expected. Shrugged. Didn't look like an enemy down there. Looked like someone dying. She was silent for a while. Then she said something in her own language. Soft, melodic, and sad. Later, when I asked what it meant, she said, It means honor is not only born in the stars. Over the next 2 days, she recovered slowly. I learned that her ship had been shot down, not by humans but by her own kind. Apparently, there was a rebellion within the Dravkari hierarchy. Something about a purge of dissenters. Tallien had refused to carry out an extermination order on a surviving human enclave in the North Zone. For that, they branded her a traitor. "You spared humans?" asked one night. She looked at me with those luminous eyes. "Your kind should not have survived. But you did. You adapt. You endure." When my command told me to erase that, I could not. That was the first time I saw her smile. Small, tired, but real. And it did something to me I wasn't ready for. The next day, I heard something that froze my blood. Distant thuds. Metallic echoes down the tunnel. Tallien heard it too. Her head tilted sharply, eyes widening. "Trackers," she whispered. "They found the crash site." We had minutes, maybe less. I grabbed my pack and her arm. "We have to move." She tried to stand but stumbled. Her leg still wasn't fully healed. Without thinking, I slung her arm over my shoulder and half-carried her through the tunnels. We moved fast, ducking through side corridors, wading through murky water. The sounds followed. Mechanical, relentless. Then the light hit us. A drone, sleek, silver, insect-like, swept around the corner. Its scanner beam locked onto us instantly. Unregistered bioform detected. Subject, human. Secondary. Dravkari defector. Eliminate both. I shoved Tallien behind a pipe and grabbed the only weapon I had. A rusted metal rod. Useless against plasma. But she raised her hand before I could move. Her palm lit up, and a pulse of energy burst from it, shattering the drone into molten shards. The blast threw sparks across the tunnel. She fell to one knee, gasping. "That will call more," she said weakly. We ran until my legs burned. Finally, we reached an abandoned junction chamber, the kind used before the war. I sealed the entrance with debris and collapsed beside her. For a long while we just sat there listening to our own breathing. Then she said something that made my stomach twist. "They will not stop. My species hunts through frequencies. They will track your scent now too. So what do we do?" Her eyes flickered. "You could leave me. I would understand." I looked at her. This alien, this soldier, this girl who could have killed me 100 times already. "Not happening," I said. She tilted her head. "Humans, strange species." "Yeah," I said. "We get that a lot." That night she showed me the stars. Not real ones. Projected from a small orb she kept in a cracked device. Holograms of constellations from her home world. She said, "On my world, our young are taught that humans were primitive, dangerous, unworthy of mercy. But the first human I met in peace was a boy living beneath his own world. I didn't know what to say to that. So I just sat there, watching alien stars shimmer against the damp concrete ceiling. When I finally spoke, it was quiet. "Tallien, what will happen if they find us?" She looked at me for a long time before answering. "They will kill you." Me. "But if we reach the relay station north of here, I could send a signal to others who do not obey the Empire. Rebels." "Yes," she said. "There are more of us than they know." That was the first time I dared to hope. The next day we moved. I led her through forgotten subway lines, across collapsed tunnels and flooded shafts. Every sound made me jump, but she guided us using strange clicks of her tongue, mapping vibrations in the air. When we reached the surface for the first time in weeks, I almost couldn't breathe. The city above was a graveyard. Towers collapsed, streets buried in dust. The air shimmered faintly with static from the Dravkari network grids. drones patrolled the skies like metal vultures. We hid beneath the overpass as the sun burned through the haze. Tallien wrapped herself in a tattered cloak I found, her alien features mostly hidden. I could still see the faint glow of her eyes beneath the hood. "From here," she said, "the relay is 20 clicks. "That's a lot of clicks for someone with a busted leg," I said. She gave me that almost smile again. "Then it is good you have strong legs." We traveled by night. Through ruins, under collapsed bridges, past skeletal buildings full of silence. Once we passed what used to be a school. The blackboards were still covered in half-erased lessons. Tallien stopped to look. "What was this place?" "Where kids learned," I said. "Before the war." "Learned what?" "Math. Stories. How to live." She ran her fingers along the wall. "We took this from you," she whispered. "And you still helped me." I didn't answer. Couldn't. We were close when it happened. A low hum shook the air, followed by the shriek of engines. Draft-carry hunter craft, descending fast. "They found us," Tallien said, voice sharp. I grabbed her hand. "Come on." We ran through an open field littered with debris. Energy blasts scorched the ground behind us. A beam hit the dirt near my feet, throwing me forward. I tumbled, choking on dust. When I looked up, Tallien was standing between me and the hunters, arms raised, light blazing from her palms. The ground rippled with blue fire. The nearest drone disintegrated. Then another blast hit her square in the chest. I screamed her name. She collapsed, armor smoking, eyes flickering weakly. I dragged her behind a wrecked vehicle, hands shaking. "Stay with me," I said. "Come on, stay awake." She coughed, purple light leaking from the cracks in her armor. "Sam, listen. Don't you dare." She pressed something into my hand. A small crystalline shard warm to the touch. "Signal key. Must reach the relay. Promise me." I shook my head. "You're coming with me." But her eyes dimmed. "You are strong, human boy. Stronger than the stars know." Then she went still. I don't remember much after that. Just rage. I picked up her weapon, some kind of pulse rifle, and ran. Fired until the sky itself screamed. When it was over, the hunters were gone. The field was silent again. I buried her under the ruins of an old playground. Didn't have a marker. Just a small piece of metal I found, shaped like a wing. Then I took the shard and went north. It took me 2 more days to reach the relay station, a massive tower half buried in sand. The entrance was sealed, but the shard fit into a socket near the door. The system powered up with a hum I could feel in my bones. A hologram appeared, flickering, uncertain. Not a draft-carry soldier, but another like her. Older with the same blue eyes. This frequency. Who activates it? I swallowed hard. Name's Sam. Tallien sent me. The alien tilted his head. Tallien lives. I couldn't speak for a moment. She did. Long enough to save me. She said there are others who don't follow the Empire. The hologram's expression darkened. Yes, the Concord. We fight in the shadows. You carry her key, she trusted you. He paused as if studying me. There is something you must know, human. The Empire's command has shifted focus. They no longer seek to conquer your world. They seek to harvest it. My stomach turned. Harvest? Your planet's core energy. If they succeed, Earth will die within months. I clenched my fists. Then tell me what to do. The hologram's gaze softened. Tallien was right. You are stronger than you appear. Follow the signal north. Others will find you. Then the image flickered out. I stood there for a long time, the wind howling through the ruins. Above me, the sky shimmered with alien lights, ships moving like silent ghosts. I looked at the shard in my hand. And for the first time since I could remember, I didn't feel small. Felt ready. That was 3 days ago. Since then, I've been following the beacon. Sometimes I think I hear her voice in the static, guiding me through the dark. Maybe it's just in my head. Maybe not. The world isn't dead after all. It's waiting. And maybe, just maybe, this poor human boy isn't done fighting yet. End.